welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. Hopefully you can hear me alright over my air. I'm doing the weekly pick-a pile, which I didn't do last week because I had been sick and I needed to catch up on more critical items. So I'm doing 9 grit Lenormands this week. I've got the Gilded Reverie Lenormand, and you're essentially picking your pile by the Oracle, though I was told to put little objects on it this week again, which I haven't done for a while. So this pile here has one of my phrase deck cards as an Oracle on it, and it's got this little owl. Okay. I have the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck on this other pile here, and this is this Winged Mermaid situation pin here. And the third pile is the Work Your Light Oracle, and I have this little glittery chunk shaped square clear glitter cat. Barely see, but it's a kitty. It's a clear kitty cat. I used up the pen already, but I kept the little kitty chunk. Alright, so clear glitter square kitty, winged mermaid, or owl. Phrase deck, mystical shaman, work your light. Okay, so I'm gonna do the work your light first, because that's what my brain is saying. So I have the cards set out already, but I'm going to lay them down. I'm going to adjust the focus in a second. Sometimes when I have these grids, the position of the cards changes, and I got to make sure that the energy is flowing right. I don't think these are correct yet. Check through the screen. No. Sorry, I just burped a little bit. I had a huge plate of vegetables and stuff, and it's settling weird in my stomach. Okay. I'm gonna double check this focus. Let me get a sip of water. Maybe a Dramamine. I have some water here. A sip of water. Alright, so I'm gonna get into this. Which again, this is the kitty with the work your light. So let's see what this reading is gonna be about. The ever unfolding rose. Cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. This is coming in inverted, which tells me a confusion or delay. Or it's like in the future, everything's gonna become clear. But right now, it's like, what the fuck is going on? I feel like I have a giant hole in me. Oh, these are directional. They've got a little... So we have the man inverted here. Number 28. The Ace of Cups. I'm not going to get into all the different permutations of the numbers. At least not yet. So the man inverted. I have the letter with the 7 of Swords. 27. I have 12 inverted, the birds with the 7 of Pentacles inverted. Some real tea there. I have 42, the compass. This is an expanded deck version card. So it's giving like major arcana energy. 42, the answer to everything. So also, this is pointing just about north and south. That's giving me the energy of the north and south nodes. So we have Sagittarius south node right now, Gemini north node right now. We have the clock. Wait, no, not the clock. Clock destroyer. I love the clocks. 37. This is time. This is another bonus card. This reminds me of the beginning of Pink Floyd's song there. Also money, because money has the coin, the chain, the registers, chunking sounds. But time has all the fucking clocks going off, and that's what this card sounds like. Pink Floyd. Tear down the wall. So we have 17, the Storks, Queen of Cups energy. These go together, these go together. Masks inverted, 40, another bonus card. The Child inverted with a Jack of Swords, so it could be the Page or the Knight, depending on how the reading goes. Could also be flipping the switch between both of them. Like in-between sizes. 13 inverted. And then we have the Moon, 32, with the 8 of Cups. Now these gears here look a lot like all those clocks too. It's sort of like an astrolabe, a combination of the compass and the clock. The Moon in June. Alright, what do we got going on here? I don't really want to read the book. I did bring it out just in case, because there's a few cards I haven't gotten that many times yet. But I think I know what I got here. Let me just look at these energies real quick, though. Fall energy inverted, possibly spring. 7 of Swords. The Moon in Aquarius. Saturn in Taurus inverted. Saturn retrograde energy. Uranus in Taurus retrograde. Major Arcana, so I have 42. That could be Emperor Aries energy, High Priestess Moon energy, possibly Pisces energy, 6 the Lovers energy, Gemini. Also Major Arcana, so it's giving me Empress energy, the Chariot energy, so I have Venus and Moon. And then it's Taurus energy, right? Yeah, Capricorn and Venus. So Empress, Venus energy, Chariot, Moon energy. 10 together is the Wheel, which is Jupiter energy, which is Sagittarius, coming right under here, under the South Node. Queen of Cups is a 1 or a 13. Gemini and Cancer energy, which has appeared already. 17 is the number of the star, but I could also have 8, which might relate to the 8 of Cups right next to it as well. 3. So this is Major Arcana also, so I'm getting Emperor inverted, Mars retrograde in Aries. I'm getting the Fool inverted, Uranus retrograde. 4 completions. Right. So if this was a Jack of Swords, it would be winter energy, but then that would be summer energy inverted. And if it was the Knight, it would be Taurus and Gemini energy. So this is going to be the Knight of Swords in this reading. And then the Eight of Cups over here, Saturn and Pisces. Okay. So that follows. Just get the logistics out of the way. Okay. So the information is, like, the center of the reading is dealing with not realizing that things are happening for you, not to you, right? Everything's not quite clear yet. Why is this always crap happening to me? And the center of the reading is time. Perhaps there's an impatience, or I've been waiting a long time. I have to keep resetting my alarm. Everything in my life is like a Groundhog Day. These repeating cycles where I try and get past it, and it's always the same thing over and over again. But the energy over here is a new consciousness coming in where there isn't going to be a lot of masks and bravado, or breaking down the ego and tearing down a bunch of gossip as well, right? We're expanding our consciousness above petty-minded things and looking towards where we have a new mastery of who we really are. Now this other diagonal here, the Man inverted, is also telling me Aries, Mars retrograde in Aries energy. They're dealing with what hasn't been resonating as truth in the heart center. Again, dealing with this time factor. And what's coming out here is the Moon. Now the Moon in this deck has to do, so in some cases, with wanting to be famous. Like why isn't anybody paying attention to me? But it also, in the Moon in general, in terms of tarot, it has to do with darkness and secrets. It's a period of reflecting, right? We're still dealing with the gears turning here and trying to see something. Here we're looking at the compass, and here we're navigating at night by the position of the Moon. Right? There's this idea of where am I going in my life? But what's critical here with the Eight of Cups is trying to walk away from heartache, and we see that as relating to this Ace here. The Mars retrograde in Aries is an ego showdown for masculine energies, and everyone has both of them. So what's happening is that there's this breaking open of the heart, because Aries is very like rrr, and not very like you know, there's more of attention to like being hot to trot than to feeling things out on an emotional level. And we see that there's this sort of resolution coming in. Alright, so let's look at the cross here. The cross that you have to bear. I feel like this storks here, it has a lot of the, one of the descriptions of this card is something that happens like, well, essentially like clockwork. Every year they come in, they build in the same nest, and they have their little bird navigation system that tells them when it's time to fly to the mating grounds and when it's time to fly south for the winter, and they build the nest and da-da-da-da-da and all that. The Queen of Cups is, she can be a 1 or a 13, so there's this idea of there's an emotional transformation that happens regarding stuff that's in these sort of predictable cycles. But the way that I'm seeing this card more here, with the Moon next to it and this child nearby and the Fool up here, is that it's this daybreak is like a new baby, in the sense that I'm giving birth to a new phase in my life where, you know, maybe I'm going to build my nest in a different way, right? I'm not going to come to this birdhouse of social media and have people tell me how I'm going to be and who I am and argue and you know, sensationalized things all the time. I do see a 7 and a 7 here. There's this sort of opposition of balance between, you know, hearsay and the real tea, right? I'm going to get it in writing. Like, truth be told, this is all what's been going on. 7 of Swords is... The 7 of Swords is usually the sneaky energy, the ninja energy, the breaking in and stealing energy. We have Moon in Aquarius. So I feel like it's these energies in here sort of squeezing the darkness, ripping off the Band-Aid and seeing, like, let's see what's in the secret envelope. Like, who am I really? And this card, to me, is indicating, you know, this is all that was given to me as who I'm supposed to be growing up. And I see 13 again with this idea of transformation, and a Knight of Swords inverted gives me Hanged Man energy. Any Knight inverted tells me the Hangman. Neptune energy. We're dealing with Mercurial energy and Venus energy. Mercury in Venus. Wait, in Venus? Mercury in Libra, which is ruled by Venus. Right. I need some kind of... Like, I was told how to be growing up. I was supposed to be nurtured, but it was all, you know, empty chatter. And I'm trying to find out who I really am, you know, reading the, like, opening up my like the safe in my chest and pulling out the secret document and reading it, instead of, you know, being told this is what you do in a mass-produced manual of how to be in society. So this Mars retrograde in Aries with Uranus retrograding and Mercury in Libra is pushing whoever have chosen the little chunky kitty cat. It might feel like you're being gutted, but what you don't realize is that there's more of you being opened up to yourself. Like, what's all that, like, if you only ever saw the outside and the outside started to get a little dry and crusty, you might think your whole life is over, but what happens is that there's this unfolding and there's all this part of you inside that you may never have seen if the outside still looked, you know, perfect and brilliant. You know, it's like, don't be distracted by the glitter. There's something interesting going on in the depths, and the only way to get that is to go through this like being turned inside out kind of energy. So that's what we got here for that pile. Let's... Alright. So let's see what's in... I want to do the phrase deck next, but I'm being kind of forced to do this one. So we've got the Winged Mermaid Pin here with the Mystical Shaman card. I'm going to get these cards set up. Let's see where they go. fixing the camera. Just trying to get a sense of the vibe here to see how I feel about this. I think it's done. It just feels really quiet. It doesn't feel like a puzzle snapped into place. So maybe this is backwards. See how that feels. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine now. Alright. So, let me check the focus. It's probably fine before I messed with it. Okay. So let's see what the reading is going to be about. So we have lightning. Oh, there's actually like a person, like an outline of a person here. So this is coming kind of in, it sort of looks like it's between the solar and the heart, but it might be the power plant in the gut. I'm kind of feeling the stomach. So I have 30, which breaks down to 3. So I have 3 completions, I have the Fool and or the Empress. But with all this blue and purple and a little bit of greenish energy, it's giving me a lot of that Uranus Aquarian energy. Especially because Aquarius' symbol is current, which is electricity, and we see that on here. This also reminds me of my nervous system charm. Let me get that out. Let me get it. If I can find it. I got a lot of them in here now. Hopefully I'll be able to find it. I don't want to mess up the spread. Hair. It's going to take me longer to find it because I have a lot of these now. Where are you, buddy? Oh, I even found him right away. Super. Okay. Reminds me of my nervous system charm. Same. Okay. So I'm going to read the lightning card because I don't really use these cards often enough to have them fully memorized yet, and I want to get deep into it. Okay. So the act of the electrical discharge of the lightning bolt with the brightening the sky and striking the earth with the thunder that comes with it, says this phenomenon has a positive aspect. The light illuminates the earth and the psyche, but there's a destructive side as well. The bolt can burn and even kill if it's too strong. I feel like this has a lot to do with having a tower moment, right? Because it can restructure, but you could also get trapped underneath it. And I think that there's this idea of feeling overwhelmed by the process of awakening, right? There's something brewing inside you, and there's so much energy shifting that it's frying your system, and it might end up in like anxiety. It says the forces of the upper world are investing their gathered energies to ignite you with new inspiration and creativity. Allow this divine gift of awakening to take root in your being and enjoy a renewed sense of clarity, passion, and vision. It's in the other little bit on the page indicates that this is a way of shifting karma, but it's sort of like you don't really want to do it all at once necessarily. And I think this is interesting because we have a mermaid with wings and we're sort of caught in the middle, right where that lightning bolt starts. We have the depths and we have like the underworld and the upper world, and in the middle world we're getting this like electrical surge, and we're like, dude, what? So let's see what this spread has got going on over here. So we have the Messenger inverted, Messenger inverted, Nine of Cups inverted, the alternate woman, most specifically Venus, because she's wearing the Venus symbol, also partly bare, sort of confident and stable in all of her energies, including that of sensuality. So this is a 29, which breaks down to 11, and we have the Ace of Swords here. 3, the ship, right here, it's an airship. 10 of Swords. See 11 swords here. 1 and 9, 10, and then 10. 3, Empress number. Interesting. 19. This is the tower. And I know I just talked about having a tower moment, but this tower in Lenormand has to do with bureaucracy. So we have a 19, and then we have the 6 of Swords inverted. A lot of swords here. Which makes sense because lightning is air as well. And then we have 21, the Mountain inverted, with the 8 of Wands inverted. I feel like these two cards are basically the same thing. They look really similar. Oh, the battery's going now too. So you have the Flowers inverted, Queen of Swords inverted, number 9. Number 9? Number 9? Number 9? I just heard you don't bring me flowers anymore. You don't bring me flowers anymore. There's a 10 there as well. The 9 and a Queen could be a 1, and that's also 10. So we have a 4. This is the House. With the King of Cups. I don't know why I couldn't say that. King of Cups. 30, the Lilies, with the King of Swords. There's a 3 again, and then 10, 30, 3 times 10. Pair Kings. Kings can break down to 5, so that's also 10. And then we have 22, the Choice inverted, with the Queen of Pentacles. So I have 2 Queens, but I have 2 Kings. I have a true pair here, but they're not going in the same direction. Interesting. Kings and Queens and Guillotines. Okay. So let me just shout out the energies that are happening here before I get super into this. 9 of Cups, Jupiter in Pisces, inverted. So we have Neptune retrograding with Sagittarius energy. This was the alternate woman, so we have Venus here, the Empress, but then we also have the Ace of Swords, which is winter energy. We have the 3, which is the ships here, or the ship. 10 of Swords is the Sun in Gemini. Now, Gemini is currently the North Node, and Venus is in Leo, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury's in Libra, Libra's ruled by Venus. So to see these together is kind of makes sense. Now what's interesting is that I see the mountain underneath the ship. So it looks like this card actually kind of goes here, but they're inverted. So in this mirrored world, actually it's going in the right direction. And this character also somewhat in the air. Actually, this was upright, my bad. This is upright. 3-4. Interesting. Okay, 6 of Swords energy is Mercury in Aquarius. So there's that mercurial energy dealing with... My battery died. So I was saying the 6 of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius. So we have that mercurial energy that's in Libra with Venus right now. And then we have the Uranus retrograde Aquarian energy that I was talking about with the 0 from this card with the Empress. 8 of Wands inverted, Mercury in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the south node, but Jupiter just went direct a little while ago, like a week or so ago. But I'm seeing lately with Mars retrograde in Aries that some of the Venus energies, Mercury hanging out in Libra with Venus, some of the Mars energy is trying to pull cards that are attached to Venus inverted, and that might be happening here, but we'll see. Queen of Swords, Virgo, and Libra. So again, mercurial energy and Venus energy, but inverted, like I was saying with that. The King of Cups, Libra, and Scorpio. Okay, so Pluto is retrograde until the 4th of October, I think, which is 4. And then we have Libra. Scorpionic energy, death, transformation, perhaps, but also balance. And the King of Swords is Capricorn and Aquarius. So we see Saturn, which is gonna go direct soon, and then we have the Aquarian energy, even though this card is upright. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, and she is Sagittarius and Capricorn, but inverted. So it's like I'm looking towards Capricorn, towards Saturn going direct, and Saturn's still not direct. But there is that South Node Sagittarius energy coming in here with a little bit of North Node Gemini energy. So this energy, unhappy. I need to go deeper, which gives me Scorpionic energy, which popped up over here. I'm not moving quickly. I'm not communicating in a hurry. I'm balanced in my thoughts and emotions. I'm holding the truth, especially with feminine energy. I'm going on a long sea journey. 10 of Swords energy, usually I'm in a lot of pain, but I don't feel that here. I feel like a 10-layer truth burrito that's just sort of stacked up until you're teetering in the air. This is sort of, I'm getting, when I got You Don't Bring Me Flowers Anymore, it's giving me this like expectations and demands energy, especially paired with this materialistic queen inverted. Where's my stuff? Oh, I'm reading that as a cup, but it's not. It's a sword. Where's my stuff? if you don't bring it for me, you're a piece of shit. That kind of energy. Oh, I see, because this was a Nine of Cups over here, right? Where are you at? This is not making me happy. But what's interesting is that the flowers that are upright, these lilies, right behind them is a screen of fake flowers that's just an impression of them. And it's like the impression of giving to someone, the ethereal, the energetic vibe of giving is more truthful and balanced than making sure that what you're getting is up to a certain standard. Like, oh, well, you gave me time and affection and you told me the truth, but if you don't give me chocolate and flowers and remember our anniversary and take me out for my birthday and get a spa weekend for Valentine's Day and do the right thing at Christmas, then why are you even bothering? Because that's not what makes me happy. It's saying the wake-up call is that having someone just bring you stuff to say that you have stuff and are at a certain status is being transformed here, right? We have this bureaucracy inverted. The things that are built up to seem important, not so much. And what's interesting is that this is this idea that you're sort of over the hill, but over the tipping point. Even though it's been a slow trudge, you're finally at the top, like at the peak, where this great spontaneous wisdom is finally going to sink in, that it's not always about what you can hold in front of you. Now here, this choice card inverted, it's kind of like I think I just heard part of a song. It's like, my mind's made up by the things that I want. I think it's from the 60s. But this inverted is saying there isn't a choice, or it's already been done, right? You already chose to get up the mountain, and now you gotta get back down the other side. But here it's like, well, I'm not going to clamber down the other side. I've gotten to the point. I've said, okay, well, I've realized what I've been, sticking into myself with all this these thoughts that I thought I had to do, right? And I don't need that stabbed into me anymore. Instead of clambering down the other side of the mountain, I'm gonna hop into my airship like instead of just free falling like the fool. I kind of know where I'm going. So I'm gonna float, but I've got some navigation going here. There's 3 sheets to the wind. And this house is basically the 4 of Wands. That stability, the foundation. But it's sort of like contentment. Emotional balance has to do with having a stable foundation that you can build on. But it has to do with like being emotionally balanced, right? You don't want like a nice house just to have a nice house. It has more to do with the feeling of home than having some kind of status, right? I feel at home in my heart, in my own skin, because I know that I have that the truth has to do with more than what you can actually hold on to. There's sort of impression and symbolism that goes into the spiritual realm. Now what's happening here is I feel like this Venus feminine energy is looking into the situation, is sort of holding the puppet strings and in this case is acting like Libra. She's acting like Lady Justice because she's got the truth on her card as well. She's sort of looking in these windows and being like, oh, I see what you're doing in there. So, like, this whole stuff is like a think tank. And we see that the whole point of this is this Venus energy from here, 3 completions, right? 3 times 10. Pulling this person into like a different like energy zone, but the 0 on there also indicates that full energy, and we see that we're sort of floating in the air, and whatever that snowman song is, right? So we're coming up out of the water, the emotional water. We can swim, and now we're gonna fly. So I see that is happening there. So it's being able to harness the lightning to propel you forward instead of feeling like electrical shocked, and instead of taking that leap like the fool, you just kind of teeter off the cliff. Okay. So the sort of eureka moment when you realize that what you can see and what you can take isn't all there is. It creates that expansion. I also just heard a little snippet from John Lennon, you don't take nothing with you but your soul. So all your flowers and candy and bedazzled shit isn't gonna do much. But if you have the home in your heart and this balance between the material and the spiritual, you're going to be able to go a lot further on that mental, that consciousness spark. All right, so that's it for that pile. And we'll go on to the next pile. I'm really thirsty right now. Put that guy away. Where the hell did the cat go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, so let's look at the owl pile. Okay, I'm definitely going to need to move these. How's my energy? I gotta put them back, I guess. Okay, so that's right. Check the focus. That seems pretty good. Alright, so we have this little owl here. It's actually an eraser. But they have kept him nice because somebody had given it to me. Oh, he does stand on his little feet. Okay, so what have we got? We began to climb quickly, number 136. Now, this card was going all sorts of different directions, and I don't think I want to take it as a reversal right now. It's also talking about the past. We began to climb quickly. And who do we have but somebody who flies here? 136. So total is 10, which is a completion. So if we've completed something, we can use this past tense. Now I also see 13, which is death cycle transformation. I see 16, which is the tower. 36 breaks down to 9, which is the hermit. I see 1 and 6, 7, that's the chariot. 4 is the emperor. 3 is the empress. I think that's it. So let's see. We began to climb quickly. Alright. So let's see what's going on here. There's the owls. That's the alternate birds card. Oh, how about that? How about that? 7 of Pentacles. Serious business. 18, loyalty with the dog on it there. 10 of Cups. 39, this is the dice. It's inverted. It's a part of the expansion. I need to clean these. I got greasy fingerprints on them. So it's giving me major arcana energy. So that would be the Empress or the Hermit. Breaking down to 12, which is the Hanged Man, which would be inverted, which would be Neptune retrograde, but also breaks down again to 3, which is the Empress. So it goes back into these numbers up here. Also 3 times 6, 18. 3 minus 1, 2 times 6 is 12. Okay. So thirsty. Okay. 5. So this is the tree, and it's inverted. 7 of Cups inverted. I was told that way for a second. The Sephiroth in there. 43. This is the Labyrinth, and it's an expanded edition card, so it's also got basically major arcana energy. So that's the Emperor and the Empress energy on there. 6, the Clouds. King of Wands energy. Five, 6, 7. You're out of order. You're out of order. Alright, so this is the regular woman card. And she has the Ace of Swords, and she's inverted. So the Ace of Swords, we have an 11 total. King of Pentacles with the fish, 34. And 16. So this is the stars in this deck. And then we have 6 of Cups inverted. This is giving me navigation. Okay. 2 minutes. I'm just going to start another. Okay. I've seen the 12 here, and I'm hearing angry birds, and then I'm getting like 12 angry birds, like as in 12 angry jurors, originally titled 12 Angry Men. Swoop down. Swoop. 7 of Pentacles. Saturn and Taurus. 7 of Cups. Mercury in Scorpio inverted. Ace of Swords, winter energy inverted. Could be spring there. 10 of Cups. Mars in Pisces. It's just interesting because they're both retrograde right now. This was Emperor and Empress. That's Venus and Mars. And also Venus and Mars, potentially. It's 43 and 34 next to each other, like a little palindrome there. What's interesting is that both the people and the fishes are going different directions. Fishes? King of Pentacles. And the fishes? Mars and Taurus energy. Okay, so I'm seeing Taurus, which is Venus, and I'm seeing Mars energy a lot, which is Emperor and Empress again. So the dice here, again, I'm seeing Neptune, I'm seeing Virgo, which is Mercurial, and I'm seeing Venus. So the King of Wands, Cancer and Leo. Seeing those energies. Venus is in Leo right now. And then 6 of Cups is the Sun in Scorpio, but it's inverted. which could be moon energy. Usually when I see a Scorpio card, it's inverted. It tells me we need to go deeper, so I'm getting that here and here. Notice this is 13, which is death, which is also scorpionic energy. Pluto's retrograde until October 4th, I believe. Okay, so let me see what these energies are doing. I see 14, something, there's like something trying to, like a balance that's trying to shear into place. And we have mirroring here. I want to read the labyrinth, actually. 43. Okay, so this card. When you think you've done everything you can, you hit a wall and have to start again. I am the labyrinth that keeps you going through trial and error to the end. There are no shortcuts to success, my friend. It's about making your way through a confusing stream of events, often by trial and error. You may have goals and destinations you wish to reach, but getting there may prove more difficult than you expected. Your road isn't a direct one, but has twists and turns. No matter how much you plan and strategize, at some point you will face inevitable mistakes. Be prepared for a few false turns and dead ends. The Labyrinth card directs you to retrace your steps if necessary and take a different route. Okay, so it says we began to climb quickly. Tells me that you're already looking at where you've been. It's like we began to climb quickly, but then we had to turn around and go the other way. Or some goddamn shit. Sometimes there's simply no direct path. Regrouping and starting again is not failure, it's all part of the process. Even when you feel you're starting back at square one, you'll be able to begin again with new information and greater knowledge of the landscape. Alright. So I think the clouds are here because the way ahead, not necessarily very clear. Especially if you can't, if your navigation's off based on what you've experienced in the past. And when I was reading that, I was thinking about like a mountain climbing party and people thinking they're making a quick ascension and then realizing that you have to go all the way back to the bottom of the mountain and come up the other side. All like the 12 Angry Birds is like everybody flapping around being pissed off at each other that they have to start in again. But I also see this coming opposite the 6 down here, like 6 and 6, 12. The sun inverted energy is telling me moon energy. I see a moon here, but the idea of owls being nocturnal and this idea that there's an information to be had when you slip into those sort of dark points where everything seems kind of fucked up. And what's interesting is it's coming in with the 7 of Pentacles, which is in my music deck is Patience by Guns N' Roses, right? Things are developing, but it might, you have to wait for the growth to happen. I'm gonna skim the tree, but I don't know if I'm gonna read it out loud because I want to get a sense for what that might mean inverted, even though this doesn't have a lot of explanations for inversions in the little book here. Because the tree card is one that I struggle with because I almost invariably get it inverted in readings, and then it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm still pretty new with this deck and Lenormand in general. Okay, so this talks about being uprooted and having to start over again. With the 7 of Cups is sort of like distractions or options. It's like I'm narrowing down the routes that I can take. R-O-U-T-E-S. Narrowing down the routes, although also a pun, which happens in tarot in this stuff. Guides can be cheeky that way. I'm narrowing down the routes that I can take because I had to keep backtracking and find out a new path. I thought I was going to be able to go quickly up this way, and then I had to come all the way back down to the root of the mountain and then go back up again a different way. This regular woman here looks like she's sort of pining for someone, or she's sort of looking at someone with disdain, like, oh, you again? You came back here? Or I thought you were still off climbing. It's like, well, we had to start over and I had to pee, so I came back in the house. It's like, oh, how quaint. That's the kind of energy that I'm picking up off this card right now. But she came in inverted, and she's looking like way off over here, like, didn't you go that way? Well, yeah, but that way was not the way that would get me where I needed to go. And I feel like the labyrinth here next to the fishes, which is an abundance, it's like I have to keep trying to work my way through life to achieve the resources, like to get some kind of return on my flapping around it, right? Even these birds are flapping around there on the dome. I just want to get to the top of the dome. Well, I have to find out where it starts first. But I feel like this is coming in. It's like the contentment comes from staying true to your path, right? I'm loyal to myself. I'm going to take myself for a walk until I find the right path through all this stuff. And I now am realizing it's not going to happen immediately, but that I will be able to turn it around and turn this journey into some kind of material abundance. This is similar to this, where it's like I'm not gambling on one shot to get everything done. I'm realizing that I have to, go on side quests sometimes. So okay, so I was thinking about the owl as a symbol again, and I was thinking about like laying the groundwork, like how the owl starts out and they can walk on the ground, but they can fly and they can see like all directions around them, and they can they have great night vision, and then they can turn their heads almost 360 degrees and all that. But the vision that I was getting was of owlets. Before they get their flight feathers, they're just fluffy, and they don't have the tail feathers to help balance them out, and their legs aren't that long yet. So when they sleep, first of all, they look kind of like aliens because they don't have big flight feathers yet, and they're just kind of roughly Persian shaped and just sort of hazy and fuzzy looking, and generally some of them are white, I'm sure some of them are dark too, but they generally have the lightish grayish baby plumage. And when they take naps, they tend to sleep face down, and they have their little owl legs sticking out behind them, and they look kind of like they're dead. And that was the image that I got. It's both creepy and hilarious. And sometimes they'll just sit with their little legs sticking out in front of them like a toddler. It's really funny. So I'm getting this like the ground level where you're just like face planted, and again with the idea of like baby owls, we have a puppy here, right? It's sort of having that, taking contentment in yourself that you have the ability to get up and go again. And if the Seven of Pentacles was coming in inverted, that would be impatience. But it's like, I'm going to actually take the time to grow something. And notice that the Seven of Pentacles is answered by 34, which breaks down to 7, and also in the same suit. And then 7 of Pentacles, half of 14, and the King can be a 1 or a 14, which is also a shift or a pivot. So what's happening here is this sort of realization and taking the time to not throw down judgment on yourself for taking longer than you thought to get somewhere, and having that going deeper into yourself for, you know, the emotional support and fortitude to keep going. All right, so that's what this pile is all about. If you want to get a personal reading, I'm gonna move the camera in a second here. Can hit me up there. So you can see if that's focused. That looks pretty good. The cat came back at camp@gmail.com. I have a complete list of readings I have and how much they cost in the description box of my infomercial video, which is linked below this one. If you want to further contribute to my channel and content, you can come over and hang out at Patreon, where you can see exclusive content. I did just make a playlist with samples of the kind of stuff you'll see over there. If you want to hit the tip jar, I have paypal.me/cattheminion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. Got merch and prints over here, Cafe Press and DeviantArt. I got a couple of just playing card decks and poker chips over at Make Playing Cards. They're not really that cheap, but they're there. I have a coloring books and a poetry book over on Amazon with the Kindle Direct Publishing. I also have actual art items in my catalog. I have chapbook packs, which is just, you know, an envelope. It's got art and little bits of writing in it. Some of it has numbers on it. It's like I have labeled it as a synchronicity stimulus packet. It's also kind of randomized, so it's like just tossing a few oracle cards down and seeing if the images really bring in anything for you. And also I have made to order items like foam lotuses. Working on some new stuffed animals over here. Digital portraits, things like that. Those are in there. And then also art a la carte, which is individual drawings and paintings. There's a few of those in the current catalog, and there'll be more later. So all of that stuff is going to be linked in that description box, or you can just email me and I'll get you that whole little schmeal there. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.